students, today we will be studying flotation. So let us start. Principle of flotation, this is the first thing which we will be studying. In this case, you can see this object being sinked inside the container. Why this object is sinking inside the container? Because the weight of this object is greater than the upthrust force. We have already studied in first part of this chapter that weight has been felt in a downward direction and upthrust is felt in the upward direction. Weight's arrow is been denoted in downward direction, you can see, and upthrust is denoted by FB. It is in upward direction. As weight of the object is more than the upthrust, so therefore this object is sinking. Why this thing is happening basically? Because the density of the solid is greater than the density of liquid. This is one more condition. We can see this object which is completely inside the liquid, okay, but it is floating. Okay, why this thing is happening? Because body's weight, which is in downward direction, is equal to the upthrust force. Both are equal. I will repeat, body's weight, which is in downward direction, is equal to the upthrust force. What does it means as well? That density of the solid is equal to the density of liquid. Density of solid is equal to density of liquid. Now, this is a third condition. When this object is partially floating means what? Some part of it is outside as well as some part of it inside. Okay, why some part of it inside and some part of it outside? Because weight of the object is less than the upthrust force. Weight of the object is less than the upthrust force, as well as density of the solid is less than the density of liquid. Density of solid is less than the density of liquid. You can take for example iceberg. Iceberg's density is 0.934. As iceberg's density is 0.934, so it will not be sinking inside the liquid water. It will be partially floating. As density of water is what? 1. Okay, so it will be partially floating with major part of it inside the liquid. Now, we will study the principle of flotation. Whenever the weight of the body is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the submerged part of it. Try to understand, whatever the weight of that body is, if he is able to displace equal amount of water outside, okay, at that time we say that principle of flotation is there. Okay, whenever the weight of the body is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the submerged part. Take for example, a 2 centimeter cube of that object is getting inside the liquid. So he should displace the water, that object should displace the water that should be equal to 2 centimeter cube only. Okay, at that condition what do we get? W is equal to FB, means weight of the body is equal to the upthrust. At that condition, what is it said? Apparent weight of the floating body is 0. Apparent weight means what? The weight which is appearing to us, but it is not actually. Okay, whenever this condition will be there, that body will feel weightlessness. He will not be able to feel any sort of weight. Okay, this is called principle of flotation. Okay, it can be also said as the weight of the floating body is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by its submerged part. I will repeat, the weight of the floating body, whatever the weight of the floating body is there. Take for example, weight of the floating body is 5 kg. Okay, as soon as he gets inside the liquid, he should also displace 5 kg of liquid only. Okay, at that time only principle of flotation has been valid. Now, there is a derivation which is not there in your exam point of view, but then also you should be knowing this formula. Small v upon capital V is equal to density of rho upon density of liquid. Density of solid upon density of liquid. This is a relation between volume of a submerged part of a floating body and the densities of the liquid and density body. Okay, let capital V be the densities of the body of density rho s. Okay, capital V means whatever solid we are taking, its total volume is denoted by V, capital V, and its density is denoted by rho s, means density S. Let the body be floating with its volume V, small v, immerse inside the liquid. Try to understand, whenever the body is there, okay, whatever volume, whenever the body is floating, whatever the volume is inside the liquid, is denoted by small v, and whole volume is denoted by capital V. Okay, and density of the liquid is rho s. Okay, so we are knowing according to weight of the body Weight of the body we have already seen. Weight of the body is equal to rho GD. So volume of the body, density of the body into G. Weight of the body is being felt in the downward direction. So in weight of the body, which volume we take? We take volume of the body. And as the weight of the body is being felt in a downward direction, so therefore we take density of the body as well. So weight of the body will be given by what? V, that is volume of the body, into density of the solid into G. Now weight of the liquid displaced by the body. How much liquid liquid is displaced by that solid? Whenever the solid is getting inside the liquid, how much liquid is displaced by it? Okay, it is given by this formula, that is volume of the liquid displaced into density of liquid into G. Volume of the liquid displaced. See, try to understand. Previous volume was what? Volume of a body. Now we are talking about volume of a displaced liquid. How much water he is displacing, or how much liquid is displacing. And now we are talking about upthrust. So therefore now we will be considering density of liquid. So therefore it has been written as rho L G. So ultimately due to by principle of flotation, what we have seen, W is equal to FB. So after substituting all the values, we will be getting small v upon capital V is equal to rho S upon rho L. See, based on this formulas, there will be various numericals which we'll be solving as well. Okay, over here you should be knowing what is small v. Small v is what? The volume of the solid which is inside the liquid. Okay, immersed. Okay, and capital V is total volume. Let us move to the next one. Here are some applications of principle of flotation. Where is principle of flotation has been used? Okay, there are many examples, as well as examples can be asked for your exam as well. They will just give you the statement which I have given in bold, and they will ask you to explain. Take for example, an iron nail sinks in a water while a ship floats. Okay, if we place an iron nail in water, it will sink. Why it will sink? Because its density is very large as compared to that of the water. So its weight is more. So the upthrust on the water will not be acting on it. Weight of the body is more. As the weight of the body is more, so there will be no upthrust acting on it. So therefore the iron nail will be sinking. Whereas the ship which is made up of iron will never be sinking. Why? Because the ship is a hollow. You might be knowing the shape of a ship. It is a hollow, and the empty space in it contains air. There is empty space in it which will be containing air, which makes its volume larger. What will it make? It will make the volume larger, and the average density is less than that of the water. As the ship's volume is large, what will it do? It will capture a lot of air inside it, so its density will decrease. As its density will decrease, its density will be so less that its density is less than that of the water, so it can easily float. Okay, even a small portion of ship submerged in the water, the weight of the water displaced by the submerged part of the ship becomes equal to the weight of the ship, and therefore it floats. Even a small portion of a ship, try to understand, if small portion of a ship is submerged inside a liquid, if it is getting submerged, what will happen? It will displace some amount of water outside. Okay, whatever portion is getting inside, that much amount of water he will be able to displace, so therefore he will be able to float. That's what is principle of flotation. Whenever principle of flotation tells us what, that when that object will be floating, when that object will be floating, when that object is able to displace a liquid equal to its weight, that's what will be happening for a ship. Next one, flotation of a loading ship. Okay, you can see the two ships, A and B. In A we are having a ship which is unloaded. In B you can see the ship which is loaded. But you can see that loaded ship is sinking more below, whereas the unloaded ship is upward. Why this is happening? This is a cargo ship. Okay, when a cargo ship is loaded on a sail ship, its weight increases. Whenever the cargo ship is loaded, take for example B. In B, what is there? Already the load has been weight has been loaded. As it has been loaded, its weight will increase, so it will sink further, displacing more amount of water, okay, by the submerged part. When a cargo is loaded on a sailing ship, cargo means what? Weight has been loaded on a sailing ship. What will happen? Its weight will increase. As soon as its weight will increase, what will happen? It will sink further to the displacing more water. As it is sinking, what will happen? He will displace more amount of water. As he is able to displace more amount of water, so therefore ship will be sinking more below whenever cargo has been loaded. Okay. But if we take an unloaded ship, you can take the example of A. A is unloaded. The ship will be at a raised height. Okay. So its very minimum part will be inside the liquid. Okay. The ship will rise in the water till the weight of the water displaces the weight of the unload ship. What is happening in case A? Okay. Try to understand. When the object will be floating, when it's able to displace equal amount of water. In case A, what is there? The weight of the ship is very less. As the weight of the ship is very less, so he has to displace very less amount of water. Whereas in case of B, the weight of the ship is more. As the weight of the ship is more, so he has to displace more amount of water. As he is able to displace more amount of water, so ship is getting sink more. Whereas A's weight is less, so he can float very easily by displacing very little amount of water. As he is able to displace very little amount of water, so very little amount he will be sinking inside. I hope that everybody has understood. Okay. Ships begin to submerge as it sails from seawater to river water. Okay. See, in seawater, the density is more. As density is more, so why density is more? Basically because they are having a lot of salt content in it. Okay. Whereas river water density is very less. Why less? Because there is no salt content in it. There is one sea called as Dead Sea, in which any person can go and float. Sorry. Why? Because Dead Sea is a sea which is having maximum salt content in it. Maximum salt content means what? Density is maximum. So therefore no person will never drown inside it. Okay. So whenever the ship moves from a seawater means what? Density is higher, density is more. As density is more, to a river water whose density is less, so what will happen? Ships will submerge little bit below. So let us read. Water of a river is of a lower density than that of the seawater. Therefore, when the ship sails from a sea of a higher density to a river of a lower density, it sinks further. This is because of the law of flotation. To balance the weight of the ship, greater the volume is required to displace the water of a lower density in a river. See, according to law of flotation, see, in this whatever application we'll be studying, we have to describe it on the basis of law of flotation. Okay. Law of flotation, what does it states? That whatever weight it is having, he should able to displace equal amount of water. Okay. See, in seawater as well as river water, what is the what is same over here? Weight is same. Okay. But in seawater density is more, whereas in river water density is less. So weight in both the cases, ship has to displace equal amount of weight. But in seawater, as the density is more, so he is able to displace small amount of water. So he will not be getting sunk. He can float very easily in seawater as density is more. But in river water, as the density is less, what will happen? He will be able to he should displace more amount of water. So therefore the ship gets submerged when the ship moves from seawater to river water. There is a line called as Plimsoll line. Okay. Whenever the cargo ship is been loaded, it has been suggested that while loading, the line of the sea water shouldn't go below the Plimsoll line, because it is a safety limit of loading the ship in water. As a ship is not allowed to load further when the Plimsoll line starts touching the water. Whenever the Plimsoll line starts touching the water, it has been suggested that stop loading. Okay, so that the whenever the sail in a sea water of density is more than basically ships are sailing in the sea water and density of sea water is more than 10 raised to 3. Okay, so only a part of it below the Plimsoll line remains submerged. Whatever part, take for example ship, you can see this Plimsoll line. There might be some sort of load in below this Plimsoll line as well. Okay, so only that minute part will be inside the liquid and major part will be outside the liquid. What does this helps? It helps that ship will not be getting submerged very easily. Due to this, plimsoll line precaution has been taken. An unloaded ship is filled with sand at the bottom. Basically, during the windy climate, what happens? If the load is first of all, we are talking about unloaded ship. Unloaded means what? There is not a single load. If unloaded ship is kept like that only in the seashore, what will happen? A sea breeze or whatsoever, the ships might turn upside down. In order to prevent them, there is some sort of sand kept on it. Sand, what does it do? It reduces the center of gravity. Okay, so therefore the ships doesn't get upside down very easily. An unloaded ship floats with a very small volume inside the water. You might be knowing, whenever the ship is not having any load, we have already studied, as its weight is very less, so he will be getting immersed inside the water, that will be very less. Okay, as a result, the center of gravity is higher. Center of gravity is very high. Okay, the whenever the breezes will come, the ships might get turned upside down, and the equilibrium is also unstable. In order to increase the equilibrium, as well as in order to decrease center of gravity, what they do, they load sand on it. It is also called as a ballast. It is also called ballast. Thus, by lowering the center of gravity, equilibrium state has been maintained. Flotation of a human body. See, those who are knowing swimming, one might have done this flotation of a human body. Flotation of a human body, what does it happens and when does it happens? Basically, average density of the body, whatever is the average density, depends upon the proportional constituents like bone, blood, muscles, etc. Further, it also depends amount of air in the lungs. Okay, every time. Empty lungs is having density of 1.07 gram per centimeter cube, and lungs with air is having density 1.00 gram per centimeter cube. Try to understand. Whenever the lungs are empty, its density is what? 1.07. So at this condition, the person might get sink. Okay. In order to float, what does a swimmer do? He fills his lungs with air. Whenever his lungs is filled with air, its density becomes equal to the density of water. As his lungs density, as his body's density becomes equal to the density of water, so that person can float very easily. Okay, so a good swimmer can float on a water like a floating object, with his lungs filled with air and the mouth projected upwards. You can see this person's mouth is projected upwards, so that he can continuously breathe. Okay. So weight of the water displaced by him is equal to its own weight. Whatever water will be displaced by him will be equal to its own weight. Okay. So therefore the person can float. Next one. It is easier for a man to swim in sea water than river water. Yeah, this we have already studied, that sea water is having more density. As sea water is having more density, so what will happen? Person will be able to swim in sea water very easily. Whereas in river water, fresh water, as the density is minimum, means density is 1. As density is 1, so what will happen? Person has to, it will be some sort of difficult for him to swim in a river water. So the person who is always swimming in the sea water, it is recommended that he should swim in the sea water only. Okay. While submarines are having 2 ballast tank. You can see this 2 ballast tank. This submarine is also having periscope. Periscope is used for finding any objects, or at what distance they are away from the ground. Okay, from the sea level, how much distance they are away. That all things can be seen with the help of a periscope. Okay, the submarine. This is a submarine. Submarine can get up as well as go below the water level very easily. He does the same with the help of a ballast tank. Okay, when the submarine is to be dive, means when the submarine wants to go below, what does it do? Its ballast tank are filled with water. There is a ballast tank on 2 sides, inlet and outlet, up at the front side as well as the back side. he fills the ballast tank with water. As soon as he fills the ballast tank with water, what happens? Its density becomes more. As its density becomes more than that of the water, so therefore the submarine gets sunk inside the liquid. But whenever the submarine has to rise upwards, what will he do? He will push all the water which is inside the ballast tank outside the. When the submarine has to rise or come up, water from the ballast tank is forced outside into the sea by allowing the compressed air to enter the tank. Whenever the water moves outside, the compressed air enters the tank. Okay, this makes the average density of the submarine very less. Average density of the submarine is made very less than that of the sea water. Okay, as a result, the weight of the water displaced by it, whatever weight of the water will be displaced by it, is very small, and it also becomes equal to the weight of the submarine, and hence it rises up to the surface of the water. Try to understand. The weight of the water displaced by it means what? The weight of the water displaced by submarine becomes equal to the weight of the submarine. Weight of the water displaced by submarine becomes equal to the weight of the submarine. So therefore it rises up and floats very easily. Next one, flotation of an iceberg. Iceberg being lighter than that of the water, like I have already said, iceberg's density is what? Ice density is what? 0.934. So as its density is 90%, so therefore 90% of its volume will be inside the liquid. 90% of its volume will be inside the liquid means what? Small v will be inside the liquid, whereas only small part will be outside the water. Okay, so over here 90% is inside the liquid and only 10% is outside the water. Okay, since portion of iceberg is inside the water surface, depending upon the density of sea, therefore the divers of the ship, it is very difficult to estimate the size of the iceberg. You might have heard Titanic. Okay, in Titanic has a collision with the iceberg. Why does that happen? Because the driver of a Titanic ship, he was not able to see the iceberg, as well as he was not able to estimate the size of the iceberg, because 90% of the iceberg is inside the liquid, only 10% is visible. Okay, so whenever it will collide, naturally that ship will be broken. So therefore iceberg is termed as dangerous for a ship. Okay, flotation of a fish, or how does fish floats? Okay, as well as how does fish swim. Okay, many species of fish have an organ called as swim bladder. Aquatic animals are generally having swim bladder. It acts like a ballistic tank of a submarine. We have already studied about ballistic tank. It is similar to that. When the fishes has to rise up, what does it do? It diffuses gases from its fluid into its bladder. When the fishes has to come up, what its density should be lower. In order to decrease its density, what he does, he fills the bladder with diffuse gases. Okay, so its volume increases, so its volume will increase, so average density will decrease. Try to understand. Whenever the fishes has to rise up, what will it do? It diffuses gases, so its volume will increase, so average density will decrease. Average density will decrease. So what will happen? Upthrust on the fish will increase. So the fish will easily come up or rise up. Whereas whenever the fishes has to come down, what will it do? It empties its bladder to a required extent. Whatever was there previously, air was there, he empties his bladder, okay, to a required extent, so its volume decreases. So what will happen? Its volume will decrease, its density will increase. As its density will increase, upthrust and density are opposite to each other. Whenever the density will increase, what will happen? That object will be becoming heavier, means weight of the fish will become heavier, whereas upthrust will become decreasing, so it can sink in water very easily. Next one, rising of a balloon. You might have seen the balloons which is filled with hydrogen or any other gases rises. Why does this happens? When a light gas like hydrogen or helium, lighter gas, See, helium, hydrogen, this are the gases which are whose density is very less as compared to air. So therefore, whenever they are filled in balloon, due to its very less density, it starts moving upwards. Okay, the weight of the air displaced by an infant balloon becomes more than the weight of the gas filled by the balloon, and it rises up. Try to understand. Weight of the air displaced by an inflated balloon. Whatever weight of the air will be displaced by the inflated balloon, means hydrogen balloon or helium balloon, will become more than the weight of the gas filled in it. Okay, so therefore it will rise up very easily. The surrounding air, try to understand, the surrounding air, it is a mixture of gases. It is not hydrogen, helium, it is a mixture of all gases. The surrounding air is heavier, whereas the hydrogen balloon is lighter. As the surrounding air is heavier, what will it do? It will provide upthrust force to the balloon. Upthrust force is in the opposite direction. As upthrust force is in the opposite direction, so balloon will start moving upwards. Okay, but balloon does not rises indefinitely. Balloon does not goes rising indefinitely. It doesn't goes on and on. It only rises up to a certain extent. Why? The reason is that the density of air decreases with altitude, which we have already studied. Density of air decreases with altitude. Therefore, as the balloon goes up, the weight of the displaced air decreases. Try to understand. Whenever we are moving up, the density of decreases with the altitude. Therefore, the balloon that is gradually going up, the displacement of air also gradually decreases. As density is decreasing, so weight of the air that has been displaced also decreases. It keeps on rising. कब तक वो ऊपर जाएगा? As long as the upthrust on it exceeds its weight. कब तक वो ऊपर जाएगा? जब तक वो बलून में अपथ्रस्ट जितना एक्ट हो रहा है, it is more than the weight of the surrounding. Try to understand. Up till when it will be moving upwards? Up till when the upthrust is more than the weight of the balloon. As soon as the upthrust which is been provided by the surrounding air becomes equal to the weight of the balloon will stop. It will stop rising over there only. Thank you.